All right. Good day, everybody. What's with the 200% tariff on French wine and champagne today? I think that's going to cripple the US spirits industry, wouldn't it? Saw that today on Yahoo. President of the United States threatening Macron, the French president, is threatening to slap a 200% tariff on French red wine, white wines, and champagne. Because Macron refuses to play ball, refuses to join Trump's new, guess he's got some sort of a program to be able to bring in leaders to support his initiatives across Europe. Well, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to Mbariket Live, continuing my live coverage of Davos 2026, the World Economic Forum. Annual meeting happening in Switzerland right now. It's running from January 19th to the 23rd. So today we're going to talk about a few topics. We're going to talk about President Trump heading to Davos. He's actually currently on his way there. We're going to talk about global investments in AI. Then we're also going to wrap it up with Nigeria's new announcement of overseas scholarships for the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. We're going to go deeper into that particular topic. I want you guys to work with me and participate with me if you're interested. Go and look at the chat window. I posted a Zoom guest link there for anyone that's interested in hopping on and contributing to the program. So about Davos, for those of you who don't know, the entire world right now is paying attention to the World Economic Forum happening right now. 850 CEOs and chairs of major global companies, 65 heads of state and 400 top political leaders are there, 3,000 participants across sectors, representing over 130 countries. 200 sessions live streamed across World Economic Forum's digital platforms, including their YouTube channel, social media pages, and well as their app. So these figures reflect the scale of convening power at Davos 2026. Like I said, Trump is going to be there. He's on his way. He's got a special address happening on the 21st of January. That is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central European Time. I'm based in Las Vegas, so that's going to be about 5 o'clock in the morning for me. I plan on tuning into that. I'm an early riser anyway. I wake up super early, 4 o'clock in the morning, usually when I'm up, putting my workout for the day. And I caught the Macron speech today. Macron gave his own speech today. I caught it live stream. It's like around 5 o'clock in the morning here, Pacific Standard Time in Las Vegas. So for those of you who are in the eastern side of the United States, that's going to be 8 a.m. tomorrow if you want to catch the Donald Trump. If you want to catch the Donald Trump address. So as far as like Macron, I was actually interested in what he had to say, and we're gonna get, I know Macron is not the topic of today's session. Just want to give you guys a little summary of what Macron had to say today on France's commitment to artificial intelligence. Going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to talk about Trump, and then we're going to talk about global investments in AI, and then we're going to talk about what Nigeria is thinking about investing in overseas scholarships. for Nigerian talents. But first, let's address Macron's commitment to AI. This was today, this morning, when he outlined France's AI strategy that's built around capacity and readiness rather than aspiration. So his remarks emphasize that France already possesses the core requirements for AI deployment at scale. So France, according to President Emmanuel Macron, is not playing around when it comes to the AI future of France. A couple of things that he said that kind of resonated with me. He said that France is right now developing data centers and they're also building up and modernizing the French national grid. According to Macron, a successful France is a successful Europe. We're going to dive more into that on the AI investment segment of the program today. But let's go about Donald Trump. He's there in person this time around. You know, the big elephant in the room right now, everyone is kind of circling around. It's like sharks circling around. You know, everybody is looking at the United States of America at the moment. So the United States of America at the moment has leverage, driven particularly by the spectacular removal of Venezuela's president, well, ex-president now, what's his name? Maduro, that's sitting in jail right now in New York City. The United States has a lot of leverage going on right now for it. Best believe that Greenland is going to come up in Trump's speech tomorrow at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, United States. Yes, we all know that Greenland is a strategic location in the world for the United States. I think the survey right now is that what 6% of Greenlanders are for the United States coming in and taking over, the others are not. So that's a very small percentage. So we don't really know who knows what he's going to talk about tomorrow. We know that he's going to push the America First agenda. And on the AI standpoint, the United States currently, right now, leads the world in AI technology stack, followed by China. But what's important, though, and this is why I feel like, and I said it yesterday, that the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, kind of dropped the ball by sending the vice president Shettima to Davos instead of President Tinubu himself showing up and pushing Nigeria's agenda. Trump this time around is going in person. His relevance, you know, physical convening of global capital. It's very important for Trump to be there in person. He knows what he's doing. This is a strategic move. You know, he's going to capitalize on that media podium. Not saying that he doesn't already have a very strong media platform, it does. But Davos is where the big wigs, like I said, he's looking at 65 heads of states. How many countries are there in the world? 192, 193. This platform is the place for everybody that Trump is trying to reach. This is where they are. Majority of them are there in person. So Tinubu, in my opinion, dropped the ball by sending Shettima. It should have gone in person to see what the world is doing, see what the world is talking about. But I'm going to be watching that Donald Trump speech bright and early tomorrow. I'm probably going to schedule it. I'm going to analyze it live for you guys, that you know what I think on tomorrow's live session. It's going to be at 10 a.m. as well, Pacific Standard Time. So I'm going to schedule tomorrow's session around Trump's special address at Davos 2026. So be sure to tune in for that. If you want to participate and opine as well, You're more than welcome to. The link is always going to be available on the chat window for you if you're interested in hopping on. So now let's move over to this. I can't really say much about what Trump is going to talk about, but the bottom line is he's heading there. We can flesh that out in tomorrow's session. But now let's move over to global investments in artificial intelligence. You know, unfortunately, intent is no longer currency when it comes to the AI race. People are no longer interested in what you are intending to do. And by this, I mean CEOs of organizations, heads of states of countries like Nigeria. No one wants to hear about your intention anymore. People want to know, what are you currently doing right now in the AI space? A core theme of this year's Davos 2026 centers around artificial intelligence. Everybody's committed to it one way or another. If you're not AI focused right now, AI driven right now, you're not going to exist in the next, what, let's say 2 years. There used to be what, a 5-year plan. Now it's what? We are taking it year by year when it comes to artificial intelligence right now, guys. Last year, wasn't it all about generative AI and prompting? You talk to AI experts today, we're only 20 days into the year. Prompting is literally old. People are not prompting anymore. Now is agentic proactive AI, where AI is able to act before it's even prompted. That is where it is right now in 2026. Everybody's building around agentic artificial intelligence. And this is what saddens me about Nigeria is we are not even in the AI discussion. You see, everything that we do in Nigeria is all about mostly intentions. This is what we are thinking about doing. It's what we are planning on doing. That does not work anymore. That's not going to work for you in 2026 and the future. You got to make a move. You got to take action. The world is interested in that right now. That's what Macron actually said in his speech. They are focused more on what? The backbone of artificial intelligence, which is what? Data centers and super energy. Not just, actually, super grid. It's not even just grid anymore. It's super grid is what they're focused on. So much so that France right now is currently attracting US companies. US companies are incorporating right now and establishing in France because of France's what? Undeterred, 100% laser focus in artificial intelligence. They're not betting on it anymore. They're not thinking about it. The countries that's going to win this AI race, it's not about intention. They're not thinking about it. They're actually doing it. There's a saying called building in flight. You can imagine a jumbo jet going at 500 miles per hour, 35,000 feet in the air, and you are building as it's flying 500 miles per hour, 5 miles from the earth. That's building in flight. That's what the world is doing right now when it comes to global AI investments. It's even disrupting what the stock market right now. Artificial intelligence is. You look at the Magnificent Seven stocks, guess what? Has broken that thing wide open. If you're looking at hedging your investment right now, you better be hedging it on companies that are investing heavily in artificial intelligence. Alphabet, Google's Alphabet is always going to be one of the top two, top three on the planet when it comes to US stocks. Those guys are amplifying. Other companies, though, some of them are actually, okay, they may be a little bit late to the AI game, but at least they're making some sort of efforts. Qualcomm is one of them. In my honest opinion, I think Meta might be behind in the AI race right now. So a company you want to hedge your investment. And if you don't want to invest right now, you should probably be looking at it. Nvidia is what you should be looking at. They make chips that power AI platforms and AI infrastructure. I think their stock right now is about what, $185 per share per stock. This is the future. The companies that actually power the platforms that artificial intelligence runs on. I read an article the other day from Salesforce CEO. They're no longer hiring software developers. They're no longer hiring software engineers. And guess what? Their revenue has increased by 25%, and they didn't even hire a single human being. So when you look at a 1 to 10 ratio, in my opinion, that's where it's going. For every one living, breathing human being, there will be additional 10 AI agents assisting that person. That's where the future is going. You could imagine a company growing exponentially, increased revenue, not really hiring humans to support it. They are using AI agents. It's all about systems. When you walk into, you guys seen the movie Gladiator, right? I'm talking about Russell Crowe, the one that Russell Crowe did, not the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. and some guy that we don't even know about anymore. We're talking about Gladiator. When you look at the Colosseum right now, imagine the Colosseum in the movie Gladiator. That's kind of where AI is right now, the AI sector. Everybody's in that Colosseum right now, duking it out. We're all gladiators right now. If you're not an AI gladiator right now, you better become one. So a gladiator walks into the Colosseum. What happens? There's only two outcomes. You either win or you lose. Those are the only two outcomes. And what? The benefit of winning, you get to return the following day and duke it out again. That is what AI looks like. And guess who the winners are? Those that are building the systems and the platforms and the architectures. Those are the winners. And they get to return the following day and continue to duke it out in the Colosseum. I said it in the past that 50% of the world's AI researchers are Chinese nationals. By researchers, I mean the ones that are building and developing the tech stack that powers AI. 50% of them are Chinese nationals. These are already the winners, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at your telephone, the applications that you are using, or I shouldn't say you are using, because I'm also one of those users, sits on an artificial intelligence stacks. And then the agentic agent sits on that application. It's deep. The losers are those that are not taking this serious. Those that are not even talking about it, or they are not hedging investment. I'm talking about global companies and nations. They are not using AI as a core. Unfortunately, if you disagree with me, and you may disagree with me, and it's okay. My beloved country, Nigeria, is one of those. We are still focused on buildings. Our leaders want something they can touch and feel. Let's build the next hotel. Let's build the next road. Let's build the next event center. When the world is focusing on building AI platforms, data centers, you can't have artificial intelligence without data centers now. And you can't have data centers without energy. You can without power. You can't have it. That's the picture I'm trying to paint. That gladiator analogy that I gave you on, Roman gladiators walking in and everybody's fighting. Ooh, let's put the focus right now on Nigeria before we transition to what Tinubu is doing right now with the overseas scholarships. Who can we truly say is a leader of any sector in Nigeria? Who do you know right now? Sorry, in Africa. Let me just throw one word out there right now. Manufacturing. I'm not even talking about automated manufacturing. You see, that's too much. Just basic manufacturing. Who can you say right now is the leader of manufacturing in Africa? Name one country. When they think manufacturing, I'm talking about tip of tongue, top of mind. A nation should be able to just pop out. When you say manufacturing in Africa, who is it? Somebody should be able to, without you even thinking too much about it, the name should just, who we don't have. When you look at global manufacturing, including automated manufacturing systems, when you think of when they say who is the leader, most people will generally say China. Engineering, they can probably say Germany. Innovation, they know United States is there. Africa is still largely behind in the AI conversation. You see, the intention is there. You always talk about intention. That's why we are signing MOUs all over the place, memorandum of understanding all over the place. We are specialists at doing that. We are specialists at signing um, memorandum of understanding. What about the execution? You got to follow the money. US capital, global capital, French capital, European Union capital. Everything right now is focused on artificial intelligence. Nigeria is not in the conversation. Power needed, infrastructure needed, human capital, aka talent, also needed. So kudos to France for prioritizing. I don't live in France. I live in the United States, Nigerian by birth. I'm a naturalized US citizen. France is now starting to attract American companies. See, the majority of those top companies that you guys are hailing in Nigeria, all those fintech companies, Nigeria is just a subsidiary. They are incorporated abroad. The Money Point and the Flutter Waves, all those guys are all incorporated abroad. They're not incorporated in Nigeria because Nigeria is not attractive enough. Nigeria is also not competitive enough because in order for me to bring a company to Nigeria, I'm also going to need talent. What do you expect from me? Do you want me to import talent as well? I can't stress this enough. And I cannot push this enough. We got to move away from intent. Intent. Intention is not currency. I don't want to hear that. Okay, Nigeria is in Davos right now, right? We opened our Niger house at the Davos Pavilion. We just had to have one. We just couldn't go and lease a space and brand a space and use that space for a week. It's what most organizations, most top companies is what they do. I've attended enough summits and conferences and conventions and economic and trade and business forums in my. my life. I've attended quite a bit. It's what these brands do. They'll lease space, they'll brand it out for the week or a few days that they're there. Must we have a permanent house at Davos? To what? Do what we do best, what? Discuss intention. So if I'm a CEO of a company and I'm in a meeting with Nigerian officials, I don't want to hear about your intentions. I want to hear about what you're currently doing. Show me that foundation. I want to know what you are currently building, what you are currently working on. I don't want to hear what you are currently thinking about doing. And that is why I said it was a missed opportunity for the president of Nigeria to not be there in person. Instead, he sent Shetima. The president of Nigeria would rather be in Dubai shaking hands and striking small trade deals with Dubai, with the UAE, instead of going around and seeing what you can do for on a is is the president of Nigeria afraid? If we can't have people to communicate the vision and how Nigeria can participate. So that's one of the things that Shetima said is we've been observing for way too long. It's time for us to participate. Okay, so do you need a building to do that? A building was unnecessary. I'm talking about the Nigeria house at Davos. It was unnecessary. But there's nothing we can do. The building is there. They probably signed a multi-year lease. And also, as a matter of fact, I've been following Davos. I follow it religiously. One peculiar observation is Africa is not really represented there. Okay, so Ngozi, the Nigerian, I think she's like what, the WTO chairman or something. Okay, so she's the only voice. Outside of that, I don't know about Shitima's schedule. Shitima's schedule is not public. Show us. What panel is Shitima sitting on? He is just the vice president. He has a boss. Shetima has no business at Davos. Tinubu should have been there, not him. So what happens? Oh, we want to do a deal. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me run it by my boss. Good idea, by the way. Let me run it by my boss. And then I get back to you. You're trying to get back to somebody that probably has 20 other propositions ready to sign, ready to go. As a head of state, you can make that move. You can negotiate a good deal that you see in front of you and say, okay, boom, this is what we want to do with you. Where do I sign? That's the importance of being there. I'm talking about the presidents. The head. Macron is there. The PM of Canada, Carney, is there. The president of Egypt is there. 65 heads of state, they're there. Tinubu is in Lagos or in Nigeria. Doing what? He's mourning somebody that died or so. We're always good at that. We're always good at mourning, this person died, that person died. Let's go ahead and mourn this person and that person. Well, Larry, they're welcome, brother. How are you? Larry just said, your comment about Nigeria's AI postures is so true. Endless speeches and no implementation. Nigeria doesn't even have a roadmap for steady power yet. See my point? These are the conversations that Nigerians are having, both Nigerians locally there. I don't know where you are, Larry. Are you in Nigeria? Are you abroad? And Nigerians abroad. Talk is cheap. You're tired of talking, ladies and gentlemen. Show me a roadmap of what you are doing and where you are and how long it's going to take you to complete that roadmap. I don't want to hear about what you are thinking. I don't want to hear about strategy. Show me. Really? There is no clear standout leader that we can get behind. You go to a place like Davos, I'm not physically there, I'm monitoring and watching all of this through their WEF app. I mean, I have Davos all over the damn place. YouTube channel, Instagram page, following this. I am still, what's today? I know today's the second day. How many African leaders are there? It's not as if that they're banned, they can travel to Switzerland, unlike the United States where Nigerians can't come. Where are we? The AI conversation. Can Nigeria pick one thing to be a champion and a leader in? Please. Please. Can we? With the except even this oil self. Proven. How many proven uh, uh, we have proven reserves of oil in Nigeria? Still underutilized because we just don't have the systems and the infrastructures in place. We don't have the power in place to be able to do basic things like refining crude oil. What can we do? I get that question all the time, Rich. CJ, if you're watching this, you know I'm talking directly to you. But what can we do, Rich? What can we do? I mean, what do you want me to do? I told CJ that Nigeria's issue is largely behavioral. We have a behavior problem. We are constantly doing things that don't make sense in 2026. Constantly doing things that don't make sense. If you follow the Instagram pages of your leaders, I do that quite a bit. There are certain states in Nigeria that I'm laser focused on. And what do I do? I'm going to follow the CEO of that state. Who's the CEO of a state? Is the governor, isn't it? I want to see if the governor and or let me remove myself for a second. I want to see how aligned the governor of a Nigerian state is with the world. And how do you know? You know by the content that they put out. Go right now. Let's say if you are from Lagos State, follow the governor of Lagos State and let me know what that person is publishing in their social media pages. What are they publishing? That is in alignment with where the world is going today. They are still doing it's always buildings, buildings, buildings. We are building a police quarters. We are building quarters for the judges. We are building quarters for military soldiers. Nigeria is still not even digitized. And I'm trying to be optimistic. So back to what do we do? We got to change our behavior. We got to change the behavioral patterns of Nigeria. And a clear example is what happened at Davos. If Tinubu doesn't value the deals, we are going out, we are making deals. Some people are saying that we're going out and begging. Okay, let's just say we are going out and begging. I would rather the president of Nigeria be the one that's doing the begging than the VP of Nigeria. But we chose to delegate something like the WEF. Okay, what am I saying right now? Isn't the whole world not watching what's happening in the WEF right now? How can they not be when 65 heads of states, these are leaders, world leaders are there, convened in 1 week in in the Swiss Alps right now. That's where the world, the global media is pointing its lens. And we send Shetima while he is sitting in Nigeria doing what? Congratulating somebody. Oh, I'm going to congratulate you on your birthday. That is what Nigerian press is putting out. Could you imagine Donald Trump The press segment of the White House congratulating somebody on their birthday. But Rich, why are you always comparing Nigeria to international countries? Because I can't compare Nigeria to any African nation right now because we not be mates. I'm sorry. Who am I going to compare Nigeria to? Who am I going to measure Nigeria with? Am I going to measure Nigeria with Ghana, that has a fifth of Nigeria's population? Am I going to compare Nigeria with what do you call it? With South Africa? There's no measuring stick. I don't know who I can compare. Which other African nation I'm gonna? Okay, is it with the countries in the Sahel, Benin, Cameroon, Togo? Who now? Give me a country to measure Nigeria with. I'm sorry, I just can't. So now, because I can't do that, I have to find an international nation, a country out of Africa to measure Nigeria with. Okay, maybe Singapore is one. Actually, that's another podcast. Maybe the UAE that Nigeria is borrowing money from is another one. But that's another podcast in and of itself. Why am I measuring Nigeria to all of these nations? Because Nigeria gained its independence before they did. Where are they today? Nigeria is doing this, then they are doing this, meaning they are the ones giving us. I can't even begin to compare Nigeria to China because we are not even, they are not even made, they are not mates. But the Chinese right now are building what? 5G enabled factories is what China is building at the moment. They have over 4,000 5G factories. China on a daily, they are building that. What is Nigeria building? We got to have these deep conversations because the issue is they are not really centralized. There's no place for you to actually go and air your ideas. It's not as if these governors are going around doing town hall meetings with the local populace. And even if they are doing town hall meetings with the local populace, how many Nigerians right now, majority of Nigerians are struggling to eat 3 squares a day? Ah, you want me to go and sit in your town hall meeting with you? I don't even know where the next meal is coming from. CJ brought up a point about how we are paying our public officials in Nigeria. You know that those guys are largely underpaid. A cop that can barely eat 3 square meals a day. These are people that we are putting in charge of our institutions to protect Nigerians. When was the last time you saw a Nigerian police officer take an overseas vacation? The average police officer in the United States, fresh out of the police academy, takes some 80,000 to $90,000 a year after taxes, including benefits and dental and healthcare. I have a friend in Australia. They clear over $100,000 a year after taxes. They vacation in the United States. They spend a month in the United States. So I'm talking about a police officer. Does anybody know how much a Nigerian police officer takes home? I bet you they don't make more than 200,000 naira a month. So when the local populace have largely given up on the system, they're not going to be able to, they're not going to want to sit with you at a round table to talk about when they can't even see past today. How can they imagine the future? How? So let's transition to this. This one's going to blow your mind. Let me share my screen with you so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. It's the last segment of today's session. Nigeria's overseas scholarship. This was announced today, January 20th, 2026. I'm on the website, Channels TV website right now. The federal government of Nigeria opens applications for PTDF funded 2026 overseas scholarships. Let me stop there for a second and tell you guys what I think. So we are exporting people abroad. We are deploying international training. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that, but help me make this make sense. So you are deploying international training, but then the domestic systems that will absorb and support that international training is not there. Let me repeat that. We are sending people overseas to train international standards, only for them to return to Nigeria. And the system in Nigeria is incapable of supporting the training that they learned abroad. Okay, let me just say I'm one of those people. Send me abroad. I have all this international standard global training, and then you return me, and then I return to Nigeria, and there's no way for me to apply what I just learned. Guess what? I'm going to jackpot. Shouldn't we fix domestic capabilities where first on domestic capacity? You see, the average Nigerian isn't going to be able to look at this now. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody else, but I'm exposed. I'm not thinking about my. If I want to eat once a day, I eat once a day. If I want to eat 50 times a day, I eat 50 times a day. I'm not thinking about food. But the average Nigerian that's struggling to pay the bills, most of them don't even have health care. They are not going to. You see, they don't have enough to be able to lead or articulate the future and the vision when they can't see past tomorrow. See, that's why the diaspora is coming. That's why the diaspora is coming. But unfortunately, Nigeria does not even talk to the diaspora. $20 billion a year that the diaspora sends home to Nigeria. How is Nigerian government communicating with the diaspora? What platforms do we have? NITCOM? NITCOM, that's like a welfare platform. Nigerians will go and get in trouble, facing deportation. NITCOM springs up. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only time you hear of NITCOM doing something, when Nigerians are in trouble abroad. Not the platform. NITCOM should be an organization that should be organizing this, even if it's a virtual platform, a virtual think tank, a virtual town hall meeting with the stakeholders of Nigeria. So in that way, overseas Nigeria can engage in conversations. They want Rich Mbariket to lead. I can't. Actually, no. Because where my head is at right now, I think, which level is Nigeria still operating on? In 2006. Nigeria is probably at best still operating on what? 1995 levels, to be honest with you. A good way for you to know, like I said, look at the content that your leaders are putting out. Go. Let me share the screen again. Look at the content that your leaders are putting out. Like this one, this overseas scholarships now. So let's go ahead and breeze through it and we'll close with this segment. The government said the scheme avails opportunities for Nigerian postgraduate students to study in the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Malaysia. Pay attention to those four countries. Why is the US not included? Because Nigeria is banned now. They can't travel to the US. Immigration frozen. Citizenship frozen. Green card frozen. So what do? We default to the UK. We default to Germany. We default to France. And we default to Malaysia. Keep in mind, this is an oil and gas sector program. I thought Nigeria was prioritizing non-oil exports and non-oil sector, sorry. Isn't that what I thought Nigeria was prioritizing? So how do we say one day that we really want to push for we want to be less dependent on oil. We want to be less dependent on gas. We want the Nigerian populace to be able to do more outside of oil and gas. And then you do what? The next day, you announce an overseas scholarship for the oil and gas sector. You see the misalignment. So what is an overseas scholarship? You see, Nigeria is like education, education. We all just kind of love this theoretical education. Everybody is a doctor in Nigeria. And this doctor self, that they are doctor this, doctor that. Okay. Is it like a honorary thing? Don't you have to be a, don't you have to hold a PhD to be considered a doctor? Correct me if I'm wrong, oh, but isn't that like the general consensus? Like for you to qualify as a doctor, you have to hold a PhD. I see some of these Nigerian leaders, doctor this, doctor that. How now? Where did you get that PhD from? University of Ilorin. It's probably, I will probably see that because you can buy it. Everybody's a doctor. A real estate agent is a doctor. A person selling a car on the road is a doctor. Now, let's continue. The federal government has announced the commencement of applications for the 2026. Oh. So this is what the PTDF stands for. That's the Petroleum Technology Development Fund Overseas Scholarship Scheme. If we are really hell-bent on continuing the oil and gas push, oil and gas push, it's not even AI-driven oil and gas push. It's just regular general oil and gas push. Why do we need to go overseas for that? This was shared by what Dada Olusegun, that's the, I believe it's like the communication director for the, not Obasanjo, the Bola Tinubu regime. Sorry, administration. Every time I hear regime, regime is like, I think military dictatorship. So let's correct ourselves here now. The administration of Bola Tinubu. You look at Malaysia, is that a place to be proud of? Okay, the other ones I'll give you now. UK, I'll give you. Germany, I'll give you. France, I'll give you. Because, France is building the technology. France is building an enabling environment that attract people like Nigeria. My brother went to school in Malaysia. I don't know. I can't really speak much for Malaysia, but what are Nigerians going to learn in Malaysia? What would have stood out? Anything, since it's the oil and gas sector. Couldn't they have gone and done overseas fellowship in, let's say, Kuwait or the UAE or maybe even Canada or even the United States? I already told you we can't come into the United States now because we are banned. I'm not saying that this isn't good, but I'm just saying that this international training, you can't apply it in a system that does not support international training. You just can't. We are Putting the cart before the horse. We don't really want to focus on where investments really matter. Building back home, building capacities back home. According to the statement on the scholarship board website, the scheme targets MSc and PhD candidates in disciplines relevant to the oil and gas sector. So wait a hot second. These are still students. It's not as if they are already in the workplace working. These are just still students with no real life experience in oil and gas. It's all theoretical, educational base. Book, read this book, read that book. Couldn't you at least wait for them to complete their thesis? You're pulling them out of school to send them overseas. Oh, yeah. So the Nigerian government is going to pay the full tuition, return flight ticket. That's even if they return. Oh. Do you think me, I'm going to go get my credentials and then go back to Nigeria in Nigeria's current state? Accommodation and living allowances, health insurance. The average Nigerian doesn't have health insurance back home, but we can fund overseas level health care for these candidates. The PTDF statement said the 2026 overseas MSc and PhD scholarships provide access to world-class training. Okay, I get it. I get the world-class training. I get the research facilities and I get the global expertise. But where am I going to apply them? Dangote is it. Okay, so maybe I come and apply. Okay, outside of Dangote, who else do we have? While developing indigenous capacity in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Requirements for MSc applicants include minimum of second class lower 2.2. Is that a grade point average? Wait a minute. Isn't that kind of low to you? Shouldn't this be like a minimum of 3.5 GPA? So if this is what I'm thinking it is, so 2.2, that's like bordering F. So they have to complete the NYSC program, computer literacy, and 5 O-level credits, including English language and math. PhD applicants must also submit a research proposal of up to 5 pages outlining objectives, methodology, and data collection approaches. Okay. The majority of these people that are going to be in this bucket of candidates, they're going to be young people. Tops, I'll probably give you, the oldest, I'll probably give you maybe 30. They are not returning to Nigeria. And even if they return to Nigeria, they are not going to stay because the systems back home is not robust enough. I'm not saying that we don't need smart Nigerians. I'm not saying that we don't need intelligent Nigerians to be able to come home and build things. But what I'm saying is this. We are investing in the wrong things. You see, this thing that they're doing, I'm talking about what level Nigeria is in. This is what a 1995 level kind of moves. Could you imagine Donald Trump standing on the podium and saying, "Oh, I'm sending PhD candidates from MIT and Harvard Business School and Stanford School of Business to go abroad and study. Where is our own Harvard? Where is our own MIT? Where is our own Stanford School of Business, ladies and gentlemen? Shouldn't that be what we should be focusing on in Nigeria? Misalignment of priorities, folks. Zero ecosystem that attracts and keeps talent. Oh, it says for PhD applicants in the United Kingdom, scholarships will follow a split site arrangements, allowing research to be conducted between the College of Petroleum and Energy Studies in Kaduna and selected UK partner universities, including Robert Gordon University, University of Strathclyde, and University of Portsmouth. The agency emphasized that the scholarships are highly competitive. How many people are we looking at here? Only candidates who demonstrate outstanding merit and suitability will be considered. It's added that applicants will be evaluated based on academic credentials, research proposals, membership in professional bodies, and the relevance of their studies to the oil and gas sector. All applicants must ensure their NIN number is verified prior to application, and multiple applications or submission of falsified documents will result in automatic disqualification, the PTDF statement added. Interested candidates are advised to apply online at, let's visit this website now and see what's going on with this. Let me go ahead and just copy. Oh, and they have until the 27th of February to be able to complete the application. So let's see. Let's go ahead and key this in. Open. Let's open that. Goodness gracious. I can't believe this. So this is the PDTF Scholarship Management Portal. Oh my goodness. Are you even sure this portal is going to work? Nigeria's passport portal that times out on you every time. How to apply? Let's see what's actually before we do that, let's go ahead and look at the news section to see what's up. I guess this is the what? The press release that was put out. This was put out back in what, September 5th, 2025. Where are we just now? Oh, sorry, January 18th. So this is what just came out today. So if you're a student in Nigeria right now watching this, or yeah, listen, if you qualify for this, go ahead. Don't let the Nigerian government send you abroad. Um, get your education. And listen, push comes to shove. If you can't represent Nigeria back home in Nigeria, list. Represent us while abroad. So the requirements that they said you need. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but let's go to how to apply and just see how that goes. I hope they don't ask you guys for money when you apply, though. Let's do a quick fake application right now and just kind of see how that works. Oh, I don't want to log in. I don't want to do all that. Okay. But anyway, in-country scholarship. So there's in-country scholarships as well, like Zamfara State University, University of Ilorin. So this is one 118 entries and only one of 10 that's showing. So they do have the in-country scholarships, but I'm pretty sure the overseas scholarships is going to be more attractive to Nigerians. There's so many countries here represented. I don't think US is one of them. If it is, you're not going to be able to go because right now Nigeria is flagged. So just okay, it looks like there's a bunch of programs going on, like Germany and UK. So it's mostly Germany, UK, France, and Malaysia. Yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing this. What do you guys think? You buying this? What do you think Nigeria should be investing its money and investing its resources? If you're like me, aren't you tired of the speeches and the intent and the MOUs? Aren't you tired of the promises? We want action. I'll close with this. Elvis said it. A little less conversation and a little more action. Tune in tomorrow for my analysis of the Donald Trump speech. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to schedule that today. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's see what Trump is doing. Let's see. Let's see if this 200% tariff on French wine and French champagne actually materializes. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in to this segment. Be sure to like, share, and comment. CJ, I didn't see you today. I know you're working, you're busy in Canada doing your thing. Maybe we can catch up via text if you're watching. But listen, for enterprise markets, you want to tune into the Mbariket YouTube channel, visit our website as well at mbariket.com. We cover US, Nigeria enterprise markets. And if this resonates with you, please consider subscribing. We're at what, 21,000 plus subscribers at the moment and growing every day. Our watch hours is actually increasing. Thank you guys so much. We are really resonating with people with deep substance questions. So anytime we want answers, we want results. We don't want intentions anymore. There's no currency there. I'm not interested in what you're thinking about doing. I'm interested in what you're doing. That's what the world is interested in, especially now with the speed of where artificial intelligence is going. I want to see Nigeria participates more. Donald Trump is the cool, cool kitty from New York City, and he's flying high and he's sitting pretty. Danny, are you a Donald Trump fan? What do you think about Donald Trump, Daniel? I know that's a different podcast. I didn't vote for him, but I respect what he's doing. I mean, you got to stand behind something, right? You got to stand behind Donald Trump, right? And let's just hope that everything that's happening, I know everyone's right now is shook. Everybody right now is kind of on eggshells right now on what the United States is going to do with Greenland. People think that Donald Trump was the one that orchestrated this whole Greenland thing. It's been ongoing for many years. I think the national security of the United States is important. You know, they offered every Greenlander $500,000. That's 56,000 of Greenlanders living in Greenland right now. They offered them $500,000 in cold, hard cash. Do you think if the United States doubles that and says, okay, for every person, every living, breathing human being of all age, $1 million? Do you think that they'll change their position regarding Greenland? Well, anyway, tomorrow's session, maybe we can flesh and do a deeper dive into what Donald Trump is talking about. Be sure to tune in for that, guys. Daniel, I appreciate you. Olanri D, I really appreciate you too tuning in. And guys, like, share, and comment. I gotta run. I gotta hop on something quickly. And I will see you guys in God's chosen blue light bearer chosen. Da, 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 da. That's Daniel. Well, whatever you believe in, Daniel. Whatever you believe in, Daniel, is what you believe in. Okay, we're gonna close with that. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be there.